Hello, everyone, and welcome into Matazone HD Sportsnet, presented by the JMU Alumni Association. I'm Curt Dudley, and my pleasure to talk today with JMU first-year head baseball coach Marlin Ikenberry, as the Dukes are about ready to set on their 2016 season opener, just a short time away. And now, Coach, you're 2 seasons removed from being involved in an opening game. How ready is the head coach ready to get started?
Well, I'm extremely excited, and we're ready. We're ready. It's we're getting tired of playing each other and putting on the purple and gold and having each other to compete against. We want to see somebody different in the other dugout.
You were off in the business world for a full year, so is this like Ike getting back on the bike? I mean, it's like an old habit. You just kind of get right back into the groove.
Well, the good thing is I don't have to play anymore, so I just have to write up the lineup. And if you prepare the guys the right way, I think everything will work out the way I hope it will. And one of the greatest things for me is watching these kids play. It's a different transition because we had been recruiting these kids, and we're going to actually go out and compete with them for the first time. And so I think a lot of us are really excited to get going.
A lot of fans certainly will see the Diamond Dukes that are going to go back out there, the high number of seniors that you have and what have you. But I want to take a little insight as to the dynamics of your coaching staff and how you plan to manage a game with the personnel that you have. Alex Guerra, who has a lot of high energy, also Jimmy Jackson, who's your pitching coach, and then a local young man, Daniel Bowman, who really knows how to stroke the baseball. How will they get involved in game day?
Well, I think it's going to be a combination of all 4 of us working together at the same time. Jimmy's going to work, with the pitching staff and calling pitches, and we're real lucky. We have Bobby San Martin, who's done a great job in this preseason of calling games for our guys and getting them into a rhythm. So him and Bobby working hand in hand and calling pitches. I'm going to let Alex start off running the offense. It's going to be kind of a full collaboration of all 3 of us between Daniel, Alex, and myself. In certain situations, I'll make some calls, but I'm going to stay in the dugout. Be on the top step and really work hard to make sure our guys are going about the business the right way and preparing for each game.
I know you started to prepare for this season back in the fall, and when you were introduced to all the players that were returning, and some of them you probably got a chance to chat with even earlier than that. But can you share with us maybe some of the priorities that you had in the fall, maybe 3 things that really stood out that you wanted to hammer home with this group before you took over as here going into your first season?
Well, the biggest thing for me was, just the pace of play that we want to play and getting on and off the field and playing defense the right way. And then, the third thing would be, is our pitchers throwing strikes and, knowing that they can get away with, making mistakes in the middle of the plate and it's not going to hurt them. So, the biggest thing for me was just making sure that we came out and we played the game the right way. We're playing defense and then we're going to throw strikes. And the fourth thing, if you want to add to that, is keeping everybody healthy.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's always a key at any level, of course. Let's break it down just a little bit, if you don't mind, and with the 3 areas. Pitching, let's start with that. And one of the things that one of your seniors, redshirt senior Aaron Hoover, told us on another interview was that Jimmy Jackson likes to strike out the opposition. That's the best defense. You have to put a ball in play. How does that kind of bode in what you want to do with this team?
Well, I think it's important in certain situations, and I think, we have some guys that have really good stuff that can do that. That also helps in taking some pressure off our defense as well. So, one of the things we're going to do is try to get ahead in the count and let them put the ball in play, and we're going to play defense behind them. I really like the depth of our pitching staff. We're an older pitching staff, which is nice. And then we have some, quality young arms that are ready to go that can come in and fill some various roles. So I'm excited to see how that takes place as we get through the season.
When you and I chatted, I had the pleasure of coming out to a number of practices in the fall, and we would chat a little bit. And one of the things that you pointed out to me was putting this team on the same page defensively, just their defensive posture, being ready. How has that gone for you?
Oh, it's been great. They've totally bought in, and I think it's fun they can see kind of how we play defense and some of the plays they haven't made in the past they're making now, and their thought process, in their pre-pitch and their in-between pitches thought process has really changed. In the last couple of weeks of team practice, you can really start to see us come together.
So if I'm sitting in the stands and I'm watching the infield, for example, what should I be looking for that you're teaching these players that's going to be visible to the eye of the fan?
Well, the biggest thing I think you're going to see is their ready position. Playing on our field is a little bit quicker paced field, so they're going to be ready a little bit quicker than they would if they played on a natural surface, and that's just the way our field plays. And you'll see them kind of get together, and they'll talk a lot. There'll be a lot of communication, and you'll see their ready position. It'll kind of almost go in synchronized timing of when they're going to be ready for the baseball. But you'll see our guys talk a lot.
All right, let's go now to the offensive side of things. What have you learned about this team back in the fall? What type of offensive club do you have?
Well, I'm really excited about our offense. I mean, returning, Chad Carroll and Kyle McPherson and Kai Parrott in our lineup. And, those three hitters are probably, some of the three best hitters that I've ever had the opportunity to coach. So, watching them go about their business. And then, obviously we have some power in our lineup as well. And really for our offense, it's going to be kind of a hybrid offense. And, we're going to be able to bunt, we're going to be able to hit and run, and then we can also sit back and play for the big inning as well. So it's going to kind of depend on who we're playing, when we're playing, how many outs, what the score is, all those types of situations to kind of figure out what type of offense we're going to play each inning.
You did inherit a team, again, has a lot of older players on it. Who has stepped up? Where are these leaders coming from?
Well, it's been great to see them kind of evolve. Some of them are vocal, some of them are quiet. Some just go about their business the right way, and just every day they approach the game the right way. So it's just kind of putting them in their roles and responsibilities, and just trying to figure out who matches up with what role they play, and then watching them have other players follow their role. So that's been probably the most fun for me as a coach, is to watch that kind of situation and watch that event take place over time over the last 6 months.
All right, I opened this interview by saying that it's been a couple of years since you've opened up a season. What do you look most forward to as you get back into the saddle and guide a college baseball team?
Well, I look forward to watching these kids compete. That's going to be the most fun. I tell them every day, they have 4 years of college, and one day it's going to be all over with. And each game is compete like it's your last, and enjoy the opportunity of being together as a team. Because in life after college, the team doesn't exist as it does in college baseball. And so I think they're really excited about that. And this team is very cohesive, and they've been fun to coach.
All right, Coach, thank you for joining us. Best of luck here in your first season.
Thank you.
It is the first for Coach Ikenberry, the 47th in the history of James Madison University baseball. I'm Curt Dudley here on Madison HD Sportsnet.